6 men lined up for the 100 meters final at the 1924 Paris Olympic Games. Harold Abrahams of Great Britain was convinced that winning gold would be the defining moment of his life. 10 seconds to prove his worth, 10 seconds to prove his purpose, 10 seconds to justify his whole existence. Nearly every self-help guide and motivational podcast I listen to seems to offer an answer to 2 big questions. Who am I? And what is my purpose in life? In the film Chariots of Fire, Abrahams is depicted as lost, lonely and insecure. At one point he says, "I'm 24 and I've never known contentment. I'm forever in pursuit and I don't even know what I'm chasing." One of Abraham's teammates in Paris was the Scot Eric Liddell. He had a different view about the purpose of his talent. He said, "God made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure." Liddell believed God had gifted each person, and real fulfillment comes from knowing that God delights in our enjoyment of those talents. Do you know who you are? Do you know your purpose in life? Whilst not judgmental of others who had a different view, Liddell took Sabbath observance incredibly seriously and didn't compete on Sundays. But then the blow came. His favourite event, the 100 metres, fell on a Sunday. He immediately made it clear he could not compete. Baffling many, he chose to run the 400 metres instead and incredibly went on to win the gold medal. The Olympic Games began in ancient Greece, with tradition dating the first games back to 776 BC. They continued until 393 AD under the Roman Empire, before restarting in 1896. The Olympic motto, Citius Altius Fortius, faster, higher, stronger, reminds us that athletes have always inspired us. There are a number of references to sport in the Bible. One of these is by the Christian leader Paul, himself a Roman citizen, who wrote, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize." Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Paul likened running a race to navigating life itself. Eric Liddell, who loved reading the Bible, would have been familiar with Paul's picture of life as a race. Liddell was convinced that in the race of life, each of us must choose either to run for momentary glory, material rewards that will not last, or to run focusing on God, our loving Creator and Sustainer. A wonderful relationship that will last for eternity. Liddell passionately believed that all our striving to prove our personal value and worth through achievements would ultimately let us down. Because instead of enjoying a relationship with the Creator God who loves us and gave us our very life with its relationships and talents, we so often look elsewhere in our search for worth and purpose. Liddell knew that a 10-second race or even a whole lifetime of success could never truly define us. Our problem is that we try and outperform others, longing to be recognized and admired for our achievements and reputations, whilst ignoring the God who made us. The Bible calls this sin. And not only does it leave us unsatisfied, even worse, it destroys our relationship with God. When we reject Him and seek to achieve our own reputation and glory, the result is separation from God for eternity. Eric Liddell was fully aware of the broken nature of the human condition because he was fully aware of his own fallibility. This is why he loved telling people the good news about Jesus Christ. This is the news of how God sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross, to take away the judgment we deserve for turning our backs on God and putting ourselves at the center of our lives. Wonderfully, after 3 days in a grave, Jesus triumphed over death and rose to life. If we turn to Jesus and trust that he died and beat death on our behalf, we can begin a whole new life. Our relationship with God can be restored and then grow and deepen throughout our earthly lives and last for eternity. This is the prize that will last. Not medals, not fame, not reputation. Today, God offers you the gift of a life of fulfillment, security, and purpose. And like all God's gifts, it cannot be achieved. It can only be received from God through faith in Jesus Christ. Eric Liddell spent the final 20 years of his life as a missionary in China, where he died of cancer at the age of 43 in 1945. His gravestone included these words: "In his presence is fullness of joy." God made Liddell as he made you, to know him personally and to feel his pleasure. God made Liddell as he made you, to live a life of joy and purpose, now and forever. We're all in the race of life. We're all running for something. What are you running for?